To all the geeks and nerds, welcome back to another episode of Beyond Logic, and we are kicking off directly where we left off last time. We are in the nether and we're inside our mini hub that we started last week, and around us you can see we've got our 3 tunnels, one over there to the Guardian farm, one there to the Blaze farm, and another one just past that little kid to the Witch farm just down there. And at the end of last episode we started this thing behind me, see the torch, the line of torches? That is a tunnel all the way back to the castle. So since then we've had a stream on Monday night, which was last night, and yeah, managed to clear out a whole bunch of stuff and added some more netherrack to give us a platform to build on today. So today the plan is to build a piston bolt. Well, not just one, but 2. One going in one direction, one going into another, and that is going to illustrate a point I want to make. Hi guy. So we've got this piston bolt. Now the thing is that with this it's quite fragile, so there's going to be a bunch of rails, there's going to be a bunch of redstone, and as we clear this out and make this big platform to build on, ghasts are going to spawn. Now on stream we didn't quite finish it, so basically I've done a little bit more work and we need to fill all of this in with netherrack to give us a good platform, and a bit more over on this side all the way down to the castle, and that means we'll be able to build on that, build our piston bolt. But as you just saw there, we're going to be susceptible to ghasts firing their fireballs and blowing stuff up that we're building. So I think I'm going to have to build some kind of enclosure around it. I wanted to try and get away with not doing that, but I think we're going to have to. So yesterday on stream, we cleared up some of this stuff, as I said, and we also did a bit of design work in creative to get an idea of the tunnels. So I was hoping we could build the tunnels first and then do all of the delicate stuff inside it. But I think the design we've come up is good, but it means we can't do that, unfortunately. Can I get this guy? Oh, I just missed. Oh no, try again. Hoi. Oh, no, missed him. Well, all right. So I think first job is to clear out some more of this, lay down the more of the platform here, and maybe make a start with the protection layer over the top. And yeah, let's see how we get on. We have made some progress. So I'm just going for a fly around the castle to give you a view of what we're up to so far. Check this out. Oh, there's a ghast. Let's get rid of him. He's going to give us some hassles, I'm sure. Ah, missed. Get the boat. Doink. Done. Did I get ahead? No. Just the ghast here. All right. So here we are. This is what I wanted to show you before we were so rudely interrupted by that ghast. So here we have laid down all the netherrack that we need, like a little runway. And on both sides I've laid down a bit of a wall just for now. That's going to shield us a little bit from ghasts. Obviously we're wide open on the top, so I'm trying to think of a way to get around not having to put a roof on it, but we might have to. I've been thinking about some kind of mob switch if we could do that, but yeah, I think 1.13 might be a bit difficult to do that. But yeah, we've laid out the netherrack all the way down here. I've mined out all of this stuff, so we've got a little bit more mining to do. This bit right here, and all I've been doing here is just walking backwards and forwards, pointing upwards with my pick, and yeah, mining blocks out. So we just go up to here, mine like that, and then we just look up and walk along. I've just been doing this, walking backwards and forwards, and yeah, it takes time of course, but gradually we get there. We've just got this little bit to go, and then we've got all this done. So this is the right size to fit in 2 piston bolts next to each other, with also some leeway left and right. And also we need this height, not only for the piston bolt itself, but we're going to have a machine that's going to fly up and down this thing, which we'll get onto later. So I think yeah, I'm just going to carry on with this. Just want to show you some progress. I'm going to carry on with this. I think I might try and do the roof, I'm not sure yet. But then once we've got this enclosed, then we'll be a bit safer. Obviously ghasts can still spawn on this platform. It's a little bit of a worry, but yeah, we need to make a start, I guess. So let me do some more of this, and then yeah, we can get building. And we are done. We have walls and we have a roof. We are totally enclosed now. Check this out. Oh wow, that was quite some work, and that was just prep for the actual project. So this is just going to be protecting us from ghasts that spawn outside. Obviously they can still spawn inside here, but hopefully we'll be a little bit safer than we would have done otherwise. And here we are back at the mini hub. Back here. All right, so the next thing to do now is to make a start on building these piston bolts. So I've got a creative world, a couple actually that we should go into, and let's review what we're going to build. And here are a bunch of piston bolts, and this is the kind of thing that we're going to be building today. For those that are not sure what a piston bolt is, this is a super fast way to get around a Minecraft world. Now this creative world is not something that I've created. This is not mine. This is made by a guy called T5, who's on the Sci-Fi server, and I'm going to put a link in the description to a video by Ilmango where he talks about this particular world, and the download is there, and you can get hold of this world. This was created originally in 1.12 I think, and but works fine in 1.13. So before we talk about a bit more detail, let's have a ride in one of these things. So the idea is we're going to get in this minecart right here. We'll press a button and we'll get pushed along. And this is super quick. So on a diagonal, we can travel at 28 blocks per second roughly. And that is pretty fast. On a straight, I think it's 20 blocks per second. So yeah, pretty quick. And this is what it's like. So with this world, there's a whole bunch of piston bolts with different transitions from straight to diagonal, from diagonal to straight, all that kind of stuff. And it's got some starting stations, some finish stations, all this kind of stuff. So you can use this as a reference to build some piston bolts. So we're going to be building a diagonal one. So we're going to be building basically this thing right here. This is what we're going to be doing. So one of these in each direction. So these are one way each. And the basic idea is that you have a minecart on a rail, and these pistons either side of it fire in very precise timings. So if I put on hitboxes, if I do F3 and B, you'll see the hitbox of the minecart. So you can see that if this piston was to extend, this block would go here. And of course, if this one would extend at the same time, this block would go here, and that pushes this minecart onto this rail. Then the next set of pistons fire, which push it onto this rail, and so on and so on. And so that's how it works. It moves that minecart super quick across all of these rails, and then onwards. Now, what's very important is that these rails are curved like this, and this is not easy to do. You can do it manually, but there's also a way to do this via a flying machine, which is what we're going to do, and we'll talk about that in a bit. And yeah, so we're going to do this diagonal one. And we've made a start over here at the kind of design we're going to go for. So we'll talk about that in a bit more detail. But yeah, once we're inside, this is the kind of look we're going to go for in one direction. Something like this. I might tweak it still, but this is what we came up with on stream. And in the other direction, we're going to have a green version. So similar. But yeah, well, as we get to build that, we'll talk about that in more detail. But this is why it has to be a certain width. So the redstone comes out to this block right here. So I've got this lime green concrete to denote the outside, and then it finishes, you can see it finishes here, and then of course we've put another one next to it, it's going to come out to here. So that's why it comes out to that green line there. That's why it's that high, that wide, sorry. And the height, this is how high it needs to be, and that is to fit in the flying machine we're going to have, which is going to be curving the rails for us. So that's why we've got that passageway in the size that it is. So anyway, this is what we're going to be building. So obviously you can see we need a lot of rails, a lot of sticky pistons, a lot of repeaters and redstone, stuff like that. But yeah, I think it should be right to build. A bit time consuming maybe, but it should be straightforward. The redstone's pretty straightforward. You can see that it's just a repeater into a block, redstone, into a block, repeater, into a block, redstone. So it shouldn't be too bad, not too complicated, just a lot of it. All right, so this is what we're going to be building. And yeah, I suppose we better get back to our world and make a start. And here we are flying through the tunnel, and you can see I've made a little bit of progress, not too much, but yeah, I've laid down the rails, not curved yet, we'll come to that a little later. But I've laid down the rails so they are sitting on some polished andesite, and then either side we've got these slabs. Now those slabs are there because they're non-spawnable. Obviously we don't want to have mobs spawning as we're traveling along here on our minecart. So yeah, the next job for this is to get these rails curved, and once we've done that, then we can start building up the contraption around it. We're going to use a fly machine to curve these rails, but the general gist of it is that what's going to happen is, let's say we have a rail like this, and to curve it, we put 2 blocks either side of it like that, 2 rails, and then break these rails, and then we've got a curved rail. So we need to do that. Now you can do that manually, as I just did. And for this length, it's not too bad. It's about 3 stacks worth of rails for each line, so it's not too long. But I think, yeah, just for the coolness factor, we're going to do it with a fly machine. So we'll come back to that shortly. But before I do that, what I need to do now is to work out the beginning and end of these two lines and how they kind of connect to our hub on that side and how they connect into the castle down here. So this castle underneath currently is a whole bunch of netherrack. So let's just hop down there quickly. So here we are underneath the castle, and you can see that this is just full of netherrack. So really what I want to do is I want to dig all of this out, and then from inside the castle have a way to come down, and then we'll have like a little mini area here where we can get in minecarts and they'll take us to different areas. So to start with, it's just going to be that way to the mini hub, but we might have some more in the future. So I need to work out how to do that transition and just where things need to be. So when we get to build the fly machine and get the rails curved, we do it correctly first time, which is always the key. I can hear a ghast. Let's get in here before we get shot again. So yeah, that's the next thing. So yeah, once I've worked that out, I'll get that just built up just pretty roughly to start with. There he is. I'll get that built up pretty. Well, don't, guy. Seriously. You wrecking my walls. A little time has passed and I've made a bit more progress. So I'm here inside the castle and you might see a difference. So we now have some stairs that go down underneath the castle. Oh yes. So yeah, obviously, yeah, we've got all our portals in here for the things around our base and we can still go out that way. But I think probably the main thing we're going to do now is go down and underneath. Now, we need to decorate this up and work out how this is going to look, but at the moment, just going to focus on it being functional. So we come down here, and this is where we can have access to all of our tunnels in a safe way, rather than going outside and dodging ghasts. So this would all be enclosed and all safe. So on over here, where we have our iceboat road, just add in a minecart here, so we can get out and go down this tunnel. We'll enclose this in, so we'll be safe. We can go back down here, and now obviously the main thing we're working on today is we're going to have, when we come down these stairs, guy, no, please. Okay, he's going away. Good. So the main thing here, we're going to have a couple of stations for minecarts. So this one here is going to be the one that takes us over to the mini hub where we have our guardian witch farm and also blaze farm. And that rail, we're going to be on a minecart, we're going to go up here, and this is where we start the piston bolt. So this one on this side is going to take us down that way, and this one on this side will take us back. And obviously we're going to have a way here to continue from that piston bolt onto a rail, down this one, down here, and underneath back there where we'll get off. And then we'll have a little thing there to recycle the minecarts between the two directions. Now, as you might have noticed, we've got some obsidian here, and we've got a fly machine over here. So I've built this up, and I haven't tried this yet, of course. And the idea here is that this thing is going to go in that direction, and these blocks, these blocks with the rails on top, are going to move one at a time to the next one, and as they do, they'll curve these rails that way. And I've got another fly machine right at the other end there that can go this way and curve them in that direction. So I guess it's time to give this a go. So no idea if this is going to work. I've followed the tutorial. This is from Ilmango, of course. You know, he's the man, and I'll obviously put a link in the description to his video. So just got to update this observer, and it should start. Oh baby, look at this! Yes. All right, so that's going to go all the way along to the other side. So you can see now that all of these rails are now curved, which is good stuff. So we need to keep up with it, so keep it loaded. But also, I just wanted to mention that I covered up this area in some netherrack, so it kind of looks natural-ish on the other side, just to make sure we don't get hit by ghasts. And yeah, just got to let this run, and yeah, let's wait for it at the other end. Here it comes. We can see it in the distance arriving, so it won't be too long before it gets here. And I'm here at the other end, and here is the fly machine that needs to go the other way, so we'll start that one off in a minute. Obviously, we've got some obsidian to stop this fly machine. Hopefully, this is in the right place. I've kind of guessed, but yeah, over here on this side. So I've just framed up where the entranceway is going to be to our mini hub, so we can walk through here. And over on this side, this is where we're going to be able to get off the minecart. So the minecart will come off this piston bolt here along these rails, and we'll have a way to eject the player right here. So then we can just walk out straight into the mini hub. And likewise, we'll have a way to get onto a minecart here and travel that way onto the piston bolt. So yeah, hopefully this is going to stop in the right place. Let's see if it does. Here it comes. I'm standing on the obsidian. Let's see what it does. Oh no, it gets going. Stop, 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 stop. Okay, that obsidian is not in the right place. Okay, not too much. Oh no. Uh-oh, let's check the damage. Check the damage. Not too bad. I think we're all right. I think we're okay. Just superficial. Okay, let me fix the obsidian at the other end of the other line, and yeah, get on going. We're all repaired, and I've taken down that broken flying machine. But yeah, that has done its job nicely, and yeah, just joined up the rails here. Now we're ready to launch this one. I've changed up the obsidian on the other end, so hopefully that's going to work. So let's see if I've built this one correctly. Go. Yes, off it goes. Look at this. Oh yes, brilliant. Love it, absolutely love it. All right, yeah, this is going to take a couple of minutes to get to the other side. So let me just babysit this one, and hopefully it will stop in the right place. Here it comes, it's almost here. Hopefully my shulker boxes over there are not going to be an issue. A little bit worried about that. I think it's going to be all right though. So fingers crossed. It's going to get past them, please. Please. Oh, it looks good, it looks good. Yes, it's still going. All right. Let's see if this thing stops properly. Okay, here it comes. I'm ready with my pickaxe to stop it if the obsidian is not right. Okay, come on, let's go. Stop. Yes. And hopefully the last rail's been curved. Brilliant. So now we can get rid of this. And now to place these last two rails, and we are done. Okay, all the rails are now in place. Woo. Okay, so now we just need to place all of the pistons and repeaters and all that kind of stuff to get a working piston bolt. And then once we've got that, we'll then start with the walls and decoration. Oh man, here we go. Here is the progress so far. So pretty good, but still a long way to go. So on this side here, you can see I've got all the pistons and repeaters and whatnot all added on. So from here, that way it's all done. But over here, I've only added down these blocks. These are chisel blocks with the carpets on top. Now, one thing that happened, which I wasn't recording at the time, but I was laying down all these chiseled blocks without the carpets on. And I went over this way, and then a ghast spawned on top of these blocks. I managed to fight it off, and it didn't destroy anything, so that was good. But yeah, so then what I was doing was, as I was placing down these blocks, I'd do a few of them, then add the carpet on top, and then a few more, add the carpet, so we don't get any nasty surprises. But anyway, let's give this thing a test. So I think we've done about a third of this piston bolt, so still got another 2/3 of this one, and then the full other side to do as well. So still a lot to do, but it's going well. I've got down a pattern, as you saw, for building this thing up. It's not too bad. So here's our entry station. Maybe I should show that first. So we're here. We get this minecart. The minecart will come along here. We trigger this detector rail, which starts the process of firing these pistons. So the minecart will end up on this glowstone and then get pushed by this wall onto this first rail, and then the pistons all fire one after the other. And the good thing with this design is here you can't see any pistons at all. So I think it looks pretty cool. We're pretty happy with that. So let's give this thing a test, make sure it all works so far. So hit the button and oh yes, pretty good, pretty good. So we've got to be super careful not to break any of these curved rails. So I've got to just, there we go, be super careful. So that's that. So I think just need to carry on, right? So it's just a case of placing loads of blocks now. I've got the resources, I crafted everything up that I needed. So we should be good. So I'm just going to carry on. Let's get this one finished up. And then, yeah, give it a test. This is a glorious sight. A complete piston bolt. Well, apart from the decoration, of course. But yeah, this goes all the way to the end. So we're over here at the mini hub. So let's give this thing a try. It's it is my trusty minecart. Let's pop that in there and then give it a ride. Here we go. Look at this. Super fast. Oh, this is amazing. So much fun. And it's so quick as well. And now come off onto this, underneath we go, and that rail seems really slow now. This second rail we come onto, so that is great. So that is now done. Obviously we need to add the surrounding decoration to it, so we'll do that. and also obviously we need to do the other piston bolt, which hasn't been done very much of at all. Yeah, and we need to encapsulate this, because what happens is these pigmen, I've seen them do it, they spawn over here and then they walk over and then walk into here. Now inside here, once we've built the walls up, this is all spawn proof. So we've got the lower slabs there, we've got rails here, we've got carpets on top of these blocks and stairs, so no mobs will spawn inside here once it's all enclosed. But yeah, we just need to get on with it and just finish this build up. So I think it's time for a time lapse.
I'm done playing, pouring the rain, yeah. It's blood in my veins, yeah. All over my face, yeah. Up and down, I'm going round. It's all somehow, you know. I might get down, you might not drown. You might just fly away. You might just fly with me. Hang out and you gon' see that I can set you free. Your way. You got to say playing, pouring the rain, yeah. Blood in my veins, yeah. All over my face, yeah. Up and down, I'm going round. It's all somehow, you know. I might get down, you might not drown. You might just fly away. You might just fly with me. Hang out and you gon' see that I can set you free. Your way.
And with that, these two piston bolts are complete. Wow, that was a lot of block placing. Each of these piston bolts is about 200 blocks in length, so a total of 400 blocks of piston bolt and tunnel to go with it. But the effort is well worth it, because these things are super fun to ride. So yeah, let's check it out, shall we? So let's have a look at what we've been up to. So let's look at the design first of all. So yeah, so this is the piston bolt, and both tunnels follow the same kind of design, just with some different materials. So this one we have this orange terracotta in the walls, some acacia logs here, and then the lighting is provided by these glowstone right here. And yeah, we've used a lot of stone here. That's because we haven't really used much stone in our build so far, and I had a lot stockpiled, so I thought it'd be a good use of material. And of course in the ceiling here we have more lighting with the glowstone, but some golds and bling blings in the ceiling. So yeah, that's pretty cool. We've got a lot of that stuff, so yeah, it's quite easy to use for us. So this is this tunnel looking pretty snazzy. And if we look over on this tunnel, it's the same shape, same design, just with some different materials. So instead of the acacia logs, we've got this kelp blocks. Obviously I don't have a kelp farm at the moment, so I had to go out into the ocean and mine that stuff up manually. And the lighting is sea lanterns. That's kind of greenish with the lime terracotta on the walls. Same in the floor. That's pretty cool. And our bling blings is the emerald blocks. Emerald blocks. Yeah, so I had to go do some trading, get stocked up with our emerald blocks. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, let's ride this thing and check it out. So here we go. We need to work on the kind of entry area and also underneath the castle, how this stuff transitions in. But yeah, just focusing on the tunnels themselves for now. We go in and off we go. Look at this thing. It goes super fast. So yeah, these diagonal piston bolts, they travel at just over 28 blocks per second. Wow, that is pretty fast. And yeah, so I was interested actually in how fast that actually is. Like if you wanted to translate this into real world. So the fastest man in the world is Usain Bolt, right? Funny that. Piston bolt, Usain Bolt. So you can see where I'm going with this. So Usain Bolt, he in the I've got this stuff written down. So in the 2009 World Championships, in the 100 meters, between meter 60 and 80, he managed to achieve a total of 12.4 meters per second. So that is half the speed we're going. So we're going twice as fast as Usain Bolt at his fastest. Wow, that is pretty fast. So, and there we go, we're back here already. So yeah, as I said, we need to work on this area under the castle, work on this kind of transition, make sure we can share the minecarts between the two stations, makes it nice and easy. So this needs some work. So we'll probably do something out on stream, I think. That would be some good stuff. Going to work on some design there. And yeah, here we go. Back here, the 2 piston bolts. Super cool stuff. And we now have a super fast way to travel through the nether using these amazing piston bolts. That was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed that episode. And so that is about it for another episode. If you enjoyed it, then please hit the like button. And if you're new, then feel free to subscribe. And if you've got any comments or suggestions, then get it in that comment section. All right, my geeks. Until next time, I will see you later.